Yo, what's up, guys? What's up, J-Rock? What's up, Bull Runner? Barb, good to see you. Nice trade. What's up, Alex? Good to see you, brother. What's up, Tamale? What's up, Joey? Crypto backer, what's going on? What's up, Gear? What's up, Almost? What's up, Jake? Jenna, good to see you. What's up, Async? What's up, Dusty? Throw a 1 in the chat if you made money today. Let's go, guys. All right, so let's just start over. What's up, Hondo? What's up, Cubanian? Hey, are you back from vacation, bro? How was your vacation? All right, perfect. All right, so with this close, so we did break structure on the daily back bullish, which is nice. External structure. We had the internal structure break here. Obviously, if we do retrace here, which we'll talk about what levels we need to break to do that. Right now, it looks good. Daily close, starting to pump a little bit. Obviously, this is a key level of interest. If we zoom into the 4 hour, we did have a little bit of an SFP here, but I'm not really too concerned until we lose this low. Because if we do that, then we'd have a 4 hour SFP into a break of structure. Which the people that have been here for a while, you guys know we call this pattern like the JPAL pattern, where you break the low and then you break the high. Because we call it that because this pattern prints, right? This is the same thing that got us into a trade at the lows here yesterday, right? So you have the bullish JPAL here, you have a bullish SFP into a break of structure, and you take like your golden pocket, boom, get in, ride it up to the high. So this is the trade that we took yesterday. So we really want this level to hold. Otherwise, it looks like this could just be like a deviation above the range, and we could be coming back down. Like it could be like a SFP fake out, or it could just be mitigation, like to like this, either the 4 hour order block. The two levels we're kind of looking at are these two levels right here, kind of 118 and 115. But right now it just looks good, right? So there is actually a trade that I'm kind of looking at here. So we did on the 15 minute. Let me see if we done the 30 minute. Yeah, on the 30 minute we did too, but we didn't set a low. So we're still under bearish structure on the 30 minute, which is something to be aware of, really, until we break this high. But on the 15 minute, we did get a change of character here. I know Kyle signaled the short for that right here. But what do we talk about, guys? So we talk about how when you're in an uptrend on the 4 hour, right? These bearish break of structures, like you can take them as a short, but really you're just looking for a retrace on that short, right? So you're kind of just looking for like a quick profit, get out, and then look to close the trade. But really the way that we look at bearish break of structures when you're in a 4 hour uptrend is it creates an opportunity, right? Because whenever you set a low and you set a high, right? So we break structure here, set a high, set another low. Now we have the opportunity for a bullish break here to target the high again and possibly run higher, right? And if we come down, obviously that structure change shifts. But I do like that we punctured the low here and then set a high and then broke it, because it does create that opportunity. So that's kind of the main thing that I'm looking at here. If we do break structure here bullishly on the 15 minute, you will have to wait for a pullback because the RR is only like a 1-to-1 here, right, to the high. So you would want to wait for like a pullback so you can get like a 3-to-1 or a 2-to-1. So generally you'll do like a golden pocket pull, kind of like we did yesterday on the 30 minute. And then this would be a valid trade if we are able to break above this 15-minute high here. So that's kind of what I'm looking at right now. Obviously, if we do pull back more, then we'll be looking lower. We did have a nice little break of downtrending momentum here whenever we broke out here. So that's nice. It's kind of the same idea as the trade here, right? So we created a bearish break of structure here, which just lets me know that it's going to create an opportunity. And then we set a low, we set a high, broke the low and broke the high, right? So it's the same exact idea, just up here at the top of the range. The fact that we're getting so many SFPs here, like we had the daily SFP yesterday, and then we had a 4 hour SFP. When we're at all-time highs like this, we need to create short liquidity so that when we blast through, we can push through liquidity to sell into from our longs down here, right? So yeah, a lot of times you'll see that, like with Bitcoin's moves, like aggressive moves up like this, and it's just going up only. Like it'll go up and then go sideways for a while, and then break up, and then go sideways for a while, and then break up, go sideways for a while, break up, go sideways for a while. Notice how there's like no real liquidation wipeouts on the long side, right? Which means there is liquidity down here, right? But if it's doing the same thing over and over again, why fade it when you can just wait for the bearish break to break bullish, right? because we're in the season. If it's gonna pump to 130, 100, I know Alex has like 140k target, right? Should be like this spider line, right? If it's gonna pump up there, then we're gonna be able to trade to the week highs during the pump. Like whenever Bitcoin is in a weekly impulse, which is possible, it's starting right now. Pullbacks are just targeting the previous daily high, so we want to be able to ride those safely. That's impossible, Alex. There's no way, bro. I thought the new mic sounded good, bro. You're being trolled, bro. But yeah, so that's kind of what we're looking at here. What would change my mind? So let's see, do we have... So we don't even have 1 hour structure until down here either. So if we are going to get, which tells me if we are going to get like a bigger pullback here, we're more likely to take this high first and then come down. And I'll obviously wait for structure, right? But because even for like a 1 hour break of structure, our weak high was here, our strong low was here, right? So we'd still have to come down to the 4 hour. So it is possible, right? And until bullish structure breaks, we should be staying out of longs, right? But if you do get a bullish structure break and a pullback, you want to take the trade, right? It's a 3-to-1 trade. If you lose 3 of them and win 1, you're back to break even, right? So just understand that. And obviously, like, it gets more attractive as we like come lower, especially if we get like a very shallow stop loss, because then the trade looks a lot better, right? If we get something like this and we break structure and we're targeting the high, then you have a 3-to-1 right off the bat, right? You don't have to wait for that pullback. And that's kind of how I determine whether or not to wait for pullbacks on these trades, is like you really just want to make sure you have a 3-to-1 risk to reward. But yeah, really innocent until proven guilty unless we lose 122.3. Like, and not just SFP it, right? If we get a close below, then yeah, likely retrace and then correct down. Probably to 118. At least to here. At least to 119.300. Let's check on our uptrending momentum here. Yeah, I mean, this thing's just trucking up, to be honest with you. I don't really have any concerns until we break 122.300. Of course, Cuban. Good to know you're having a great time, man. You missed the action, bro, but hey, the market will be here when you get back, bro. Thank you, Vegas. Appreciate you, bro. What's up, Zaid? Good to see you. What's up, Feger? Alright, guys. Do you guys have any other questions on Bitcoin? The TA is really pretty simple right now. You're just waiting for things to break bearish to set you up for a trade to break back bullish. It's been the case the whole way up, right? Either the 15-minute doesn't break, or you break bearish to break back bullish to get a stop loss to ride it up, right? It's been the same thing over and over again. It's pretty easy trading. And then if you guys don't have any questions on Bitcoin, you can throw whatever altcoins you want to look at in the chat. Let's take a look at them. Yeah, this bullish engulf on the weekly last week was pretty bullish, guys. It's a pretty bullish candle. Yeah, we'll look at render first, and I'll get you guys. I have a feeling there's a reason Alex wants me to look at this one. Hey, let's go, dude. Yeah, I know nothing about football, man. I would get destroyed. All right, so we had a daily market structure break here, way back here. We never set a low, so our strong low on the daily still down here. We came back to retest demand multiple times, kind of bounced from demand 3 times. I like that each time we swept the liquidity in the lows. I do like that. Let's look at the 4 hour. So did we take that? Yeah, okay. I do like that. So we take the low, and then, let's see. We pull 4 hour out of the lows here. We come back to test the range, bounce off. So you break your 4 hour bearish here, and then it looks like golden pocket retest. And actually, I wouldn't really consider this breaking bearish because these aren't real highs. It's just kind of ranging. Let's look at the 1 hour. Yeah, this thing's kind of just ranging right now. But it did break 4 hour bullish, which I do like. Come back to the golden pocket. Yeah, perfect golden pocket retest out of the 4 hour. For me to get like more excited about this, I would want to see this high broken, and then I'd want to see a retrace back in to get long to go higher. That's what I'd kind of be looking for. I think it's a little early right now. You kind of just grab liquidity in this high. You could come back down to like 3.5. But if Bitcoin goes, it's just gonna go. But that's kind of what I'd be looking for on render. I'd be looking for a 4 hour close above here. Maybe it hits resistance, comes back down, and then what you're looking for down here, you're looking for like a 30-minute break of structure, and then your stop loss goes here, first target here, and then you can leave a runner on the breakout. It's kind of the way that I would set up the trade. Be something like this. Yeah, something like that. And then you get long on the 30-minute break, stop loss below this new strong low, targeting the high, and then leave a runner. I just think it's a little early. Zaid, what'd you do, bro? I don't know how I feel about that. Yeah, it's a little early. I don't want to see proof in the move. I wouldn't really want to short this either, the bounce side of demand, but if it comes above 375, I like it. Yeah. Alright, we can look at algo. Okay, so same thing on algo. We had the break of structure. Let's see what we were looking at here. So we hit the target we were looking at the previous lows here. Got the SFP. Yeah. This looks like the exact same chart. Let's see. Although this one just SFP'd the highs here, and this one's a lot closer to creating a new strong low on the 4 hour. With the SFP, yeah, again, I'd want to see a close above 23 and then a pullback to go. And the same thing, I'd want to see 30-minute structure on the way down. And then you're good to target the high and the breakout. Yeah, if anything, I mean, you have like a bearish SFP at the highs here. Yeah, golden pocket retest and down. If anything, I think this was the short. Have a little bit of concern here, but that kind of already got mitigated. I'd say like here, 2269. But your ultimate target is going to be this decision block here. So if it comes down, I would be targeting like 2231. He could get a reaction here though. If you guys are short on this, I would say TP1 here and then the last TP here. This would, in my opinion, this would be a great place to look for a long. If you get any sort of like market structure break into this, I would take the long there up. And if I see this, I can signal this for you guys. Yeah. Daily candle. On this one? Or on Bitcoin? I mean, this one engulfed the previous 3 candles. It's not bad. Yeah, kind of the double SFP. At least it broke structure for us first, so any pullback would be a kind of a buy here. I mean, I would love to get 118 here, but I just think unless we lose 122.331, I think we're just going higher. But yeah, I'd say caution on this with the current structure breaks. 30-minute lows here, so still have a little bit of time on 30-minute, but I like this JPOW golden pocket retest, bearish engulf. Although not that much volume on the sell-off, but let's see. Yeah. If this breaks out here, that would be a 4-hour market structure break. Depending on how low we go here, you may be able to buy the breakout with a stop loss under here, but you have these key level of resistance above us, so depend on the RR. Really, I'd be looking for the pullback after the breakout, depending on how low we go. Zcash. You love your Zcash, Joey. Yeah, we can look at that. Okay, not bad. Okay. Dang, Joey, what do you know? You were talking about this a couple days ago. Okay, so let's see. Come down, break weekly. Here, and then we go. Pull back to demands and continue to go. Kind of hitting this weekly resistance here. Is there a chart with more history? Oh, wait. Okay. Man. Yeah, this thing just went. Okay, let's zoom in. Rejecting off of this supply here. This is hard to do TA on because I mean, this thing's gone straight up. Joey, are you currently long on Zcash? Yeah, Barb. I definitely recommend Alex's Discord. There's value in there. You've been here from day one, bro. I wouldn't steer you wrong. It's worth it. It's not the new Bitcoin, Joey, but it's nice. I just think Monero's. I mean, people actually use Monero, but the chart looks good. So if we look at the 4-hour break structure here. Man, that would have been a great trade. Golden pocket to the highs. You should probably still be in that. If you're currently long on it, right? Oh, wrote it from 131 to 143. 400,000 one cat tokens. Okay, Joey. I kind of like this. Not gonna lie. I like this, Joey. I think this is the best out of the ones we've looked at here. But what you want to see is you want to see a close above here. So you want to see a close above 159.07. You get that, you can enter stop loss under the low, and you're targeting the weak high. Just understand that this is really overextended, but it's a 4-to-1 trade. You're at the golden pocket. You haven't quite swept liquidity, but this is the last unmitigated demand from the previous breakout. This OBIM never got mitigated, so we just mitigated it now. Then we swept the liquidity of the lows here, and we're trying to push up. So, yeah, Joey, if you're trying to ride this again, I like this. Otherwise, if we continue lower, I like this whole area. Maybe one more sweep down to take out these lows. So if you don't get a market structure break here, then you'd be looking for one more sweep down to take this liquidity, set up here, and then you're going to take the exact same trade, same target up here. Yeah, async, it's another privacy coin. It's like Monero. And it looks like you might get this soon, Joey. If Bitcoin's going to break and take out the high, which based on how the 1 hour looks, I think is likely, then I think this is a good setup here. You take this trade. Of course, Joey. Hype. Okay. Dumping. Okay. Hype hasn't hit this yet, which makes me think it's probably not done. It's probably got one more sweep in it. So it's internal structure. Let's go to the 12 hour. Yeah. Okay, so you get an 8 hour break. I think this is a 4 hour break too. Come up, set a low, take that high, break 8 hour structure. Let's see. This already got mitigated. I kind of like here. Kind of like here better. The problem right now is that you're under bearish structure on the 4 hour and you're under bearish structure on the 8 hour. You're also under bearish structure on the daily after this break of structure here. We were kind of looking for shorts back up here. But I think it has one more push in it because it hasn't mitigated this low. So what would that look like? So we would need some sort of actionable structure. So let's see. So we didn't set a high there. Yeah, I think we're coming here. Let's see. So currently your 15-minute market structure high is way up here. So you don't have actionable structure to trade on the 15-minute. So you'd have to be more degen with this if you want to long it. You have to look like 5-minute structure here. But I would much prefer we set like a high in here, come down, and then break that high out of here, stop loss under here to ride up. Because you're under bearish structure here, so you do have to keep in mind you're probably going to have turbulence. You already retested both of these areas, so you're probably going to have turbulence here. So just understand that you're like $48, you'd want to be taking some profit. But yeah, I'd be looking at like 45 883, and I'd be looking for 15-minute down here. If you get 15-minute out of here, I like that a lot. Because what that does is it takes all the liquidity out of these lows. It stops all of these people out. So you sweep these people and then you go. What would change my mind, if we break 47,750 before coming down here, it would make it less likely. Then I'd be looking for a retest for RR and then like a 3-minute break out of here to go higher. But I really like 45. Injective? Yeah, you can look at injective. Man. So there's a little bit of a problem here, and that's that we're retesting supply right now after a daily bearish market structure break. Yeah, I would want to see a breakout retest to get long, something like that. Otherwise, this looks like it's coming down from here. Let's check out the 4-hour. So you break your 4-hour bearish here, and then you come really close to pulling liquidity out of these highs, but it gets rejected. Anchor trigger on Market Cipher. This is not very constructive price action here. Your 15 minutes technically bullish, but your low is like all the way down here. You could say it's here. Low's here. So there's not really enough price action to short. I think it's probably going to come down a little bit, but if you want to get bullish at all on this, yeah, you gotta get above 13.5. But on the macro, you really got to come above like 15. You got to break out of this downtrend and then come back for a retest and then go. It needs more time. It needs more time on injective. I would say really no trade right now, unless you're already short. Yeah, Deborah, stick around. Trust me, I know I talk fast, but throw a 1 in the chat if you've been around for a while and you're able to follow this. Join the family. Don't worry. So he's kind of rejecting from this area of supply here. Hit our head multiple times on it. No real concerns yet for Sui. It's kind of just ranging. It's kind of similar to Bitcoin, right? We did this 4-hour SFP, but really, unless we lose 351. This just creates an opportunity in my eyes. So you break your 15-minute market structure bearish here. We haven't really set a 15-minute structure break yet. I really like this area here. This is kind of the last untested area of demand, because if you see, like, when it was following its demand chain here, up, mitigate, up, mitigate, up. So this order block is imbalance. It's a decision block here. So if we come back down to this and we get some sort of market structure break, I would take this up back to the week high on the 4 hour. I like that a lot. So you would need a 15-minute break here. You could be a little more degen with it since the 4 hours bullish. You could go like a 5-minute, but 15 minutes is the safest. And then I really like this area. It not only is a decision block, it's also the 786 golden pocket area. So similar to Bitcoin, Sui's innocent until proven guilty until we lose 352. There's also a spider line down here. If Bitcoin comes back to like 114K or whatever, I really like this area. So 332. So this trade would be similar. Like, this trade will be on the chart for a while, and it's similar to, we were looking at, let's see. Sui really likes to follow its mitigation chain. So yeah, like we had this trade on the chart forever, right? And it's the exact same trade, right? So Sui will set a range. Like, notice how up, mitigate, up, mitigate, up, mitigate, and then an imbalance is created. This chart, like, we were wondering why it didn't get tapped here, and it's because they wanted to bring it back one more time, right? And then they tap it, and off we go. So it's the exact same idea. It's just instead of the daily, this is on the 4 hour, right? So we set, oh, let me go back. This chart is messy. Man, that golden pocket trade hit. That hit. Okay, but that doesn't help us because it's in the past, obviously. Okay. But yeah, I like this area. Or sorry, it's on the 15-minute. I like this area. As long as the 4 hour doesn't break. And as long as we get a 15-minute market structure break in here. Let's say like around somewhere between 360 and 355. So this is what I'll say to you, bro. So it depends. So there's a couple rules, right? So if your 4 hour structure is bullish, then you can trade a 5-minute break as long as it's at a key level. But understand that a 15-minute break is going to be much more reliable. Like, it's much more likely to lead to attacking the 4 hour high. But sometimes, like with risk and reward purposes, or you want to front run or something, like, it's okay to use the 5-minute or the 15-minute. If you're in a downtrend on the 4 hour, you'd want to use like 30-minute or 1 hour. And same thing with like shorts on a 4 hour uptrend, you'd want to use like 30-minute or 1 hour. But generally, I do recommend trading with the trend, and this is what I generally tell people, right? So, like, if you're just looking at like the 4 hour market structure, so if we just go and back test that, right? So we get a 4 hour market structure break here. It's the first one since the highs, right? And then we retest 786 demand zone, and you want to be in on this move, right? And you want to scalp this move. It's very clean, right? And then we break 4 hour market structure bearish here, or sorry, we break it bearish here, retest supply, and you want to be short. Generally on this one, you would have probably wanted to get short here with your stop above here and take it down, right? But this was news, so this one faked us out because it did break structure here. So you get faked out once, right? But you want to be in this move, right? And then we get to the bottom here, and we get our coveted SFP break of structure on the 4 hour, right? mitigate, and you want to be in on this move, right? And we trailed our stop loss with market structure all the way up. We didn't get stopped out on, we used range deviation on this, or some people did. Stayed in, took profit at the golden pocket, right? But then when the bearish market structure breaks, right, then you want to be in for the move down, and then bullish market structure breaks, and you want to be longing this move. No 4-hour market structure breaks in here, right? So generally, if the 4 hour is bullish, then we can take trades on the 5 minute. And we do, right? Like this is a 5 minute break. It's also a 30-minute break. But like down here, break the 5 minute back bullish, or I'm sorry, where was it? Down here, and you can scalp this all day basically, right? Bearish breaks just lead to bull breaks. But as long as you're trading with trend. Oh, okay. I like this. I like this. I like this. So it's kind of the same trade because the highs didn't move very much, but we set a 5 minute high because we didn't have one here. We only had 15 minute, but now we have both 5 minute and 15 minute structure here. So the trades, the idea is the same, but now we've had a breakout retest. If we close above 125.300, you're just looking for some sort of retrace here to give you better risk to reward with this low, and then you're looking to take the highs. But you have to get above here. Does that answer your question, you bro? Well, I think Alex is just better at being slow than I am. So if you didn't understand it, you can tell me. I can explain it a little better. Because I forget some of you guys, like, I have to go slower for market structure stuff, which is fine because you're probably not the only person with that question. Why is 125,000 not a major high? So you mean why am I calling it a weak high? So yeah, we can talk about that. So the reason that I'm calling this a weak high, and you guys got all this right, so I can remove it. So we're talking about the 4 hour here. So the reason that this high is weak is because its job is to break this low, and it hasn't done that yet. So it's still a weak high until it breaks this low. So no matter what price does within this range, as long as it doesn't break this low, because this low is strong, right? Its job was to break this high. It's done that job. So this is a strong low, right? This is a low that you would ask to help you move, right? If you're moving and you have your friends help you and they're carrying your boxes, this low would make sure your stuff got to your new house, right? This high would drop the box and all of your stuff falls out and breaks on the ground, right? So you wouldn't trust this box. It's weak. It's not reliable, right? Or not this box, this high, right? So this is a weak high until this 4 hour low breaks on the 4 hour, right? It would be strong on the 15 minute, but that's counter trend to the 4 hour. So we wouldn't necessarily care that much. Yeah, so if your 4 hour structure is bullish, which right now it is, then you can trust 5 minute market structure breaks or 15 minute market structure breaks because they're more likely than not to lead to an attack of the 4 hour weak high. So like, and a trick that you can also use is like using a range deviation and seeing when it breaks out, if it comes above this level, and then it's likely to continue in that direction. But that's not as important as just understanding. So let's like go back, right? So this was an SFP on the 5 minute, but let's go back to when we had a bearish break. Okay, this is a good example here, right? So if we go back to what the 4 hour looked like here, and we took this trade. So this is a really good example. This is like 113. Yeah. So back here, the 4 hour strong low was down here. Or no, we hadn't broke the 4 hour yet. 4 hour strong low was down here. And we got a 4 hour break, and then we were getting this retrace here, right? So the 5 minute broke bearish after this break here, and then we come down and we get a break back bullish right here. Then we get a pullback. I got long like right in here about 113 because the RR made sense. So I think I was waiting for a 3-to-1 to the highs. Yeah, so I got in like right here. And it was a little painful, right? Profit, and then came down. The market structure won in the end, and we came up to the profit, right? So that's what I mean by when you're in 4 hour bullish market structure, you can trust these smaller time frame breaks because they're likely to be respected to take us to the highs. But if you're under bearish 4 hour structure, then it's likely just going to fail. So you want to look at bigger time frames if you're trading against the 4 hour. Yeah. Yeah, I still like this area. It's like a spider line, it's demand, but I would just watch 5 minute structure. That's really what you're waiting for. And if we get this before I go to sleep, I'm going to take it, so I'll signal it for you guys. But we're really just looking for somewhere in this demand here, we're looking for a 5 minute break. Or if we can manage to come up and break it, but probably need to pull back a little bit more. Ugly candle. Yeah, guys, if we get this 5 minute break to target the highs before breaking this 4 hour low, I'm gonna take the trade. So if I'm awake, I'm gonna signal it for you guys. So it'll be the first trade in my channel. All right, any other questions you guys have before we call it here? It's in here, Joey. Somewhere in here. Okay, so Aptos breaks 4 hour structure bullish, is pulling back to a golden pocket 786. I like this. I like this a lot. Did it tap this order block? It did tap. It didn't quite tap this order block. Let's look at the 1 hour. 15 minute. 15 minute bearish. Ooh, I'll tell you what I would really like to see on Aptos. So if we can swipe this low and then come back up and break, I like this trade a lot. So that would be enter here. Stop loss under the low. Targeting the high. That's a 3-to-1. But you want to see the sweep and break. You want to see a JPAL pattern here at the lows. So you want to see it settle low, sweep that low, break the high. And then I really like this trade. Otherwise, if you want to get bullish, you're looking for this to break. And then the RR is not as good. It's still like a 2. I would wait for a pullback, so it's like a 3-to-1. So those are kind of the two trades I see. It would be a sweep of the low, take the high. Or you break this on the 15-minute. That's internal. Yeah, I don't really like that trade. I would say if you're going to trade this over something else, I would want to see this low swept. And then I'd want to see a break of the high. And then I'd get in on that, looking to take it up to highs. That's kind of what I'd like. I'd be careful, Joey. Like, you can trade that on the 4-hour if you want, but I would wait for a lower time frame break of structure. Yeah, Jen, I'm sorry I missed you. We can look at stacks. Okay. All right, so this looks good. So break out of the downtrend, then you range, you come back to test. Okay, this is interesting. Let's use like, okay, so yeah, so you break on 6-hour here, and then you're breaking now. Okay, so we'd be looking for this to retest, either previous highs or a little bit lower, probably right here. I like that. Let's see if we have like a decision block. Okay, so we do. So if this is gonna come down, I really like a retest here. So I'd be looking for 15-minute coming down into here to get long, to target here, and then leave a runner. And that area is gonna be like between 63 cents and 62.27. That's what I'd look for, a retest. So far it's been following its demand chain pretty well. Because there's a lot of volume in this candle, but it's kind of a little bit of a rejection wick off of supply. So you had 1-hour supply here, untested. And you hit that. And then you're rejecting off that now. So yeah, I'd be looking around like 63 cents for it. But that's a pretty good area in my opinion. And then if you get a break there, yeah, that could be a pretty decent trade. All right, awesome guys. Well, for everyone new here, make sure you subscribe, ring that bell so you get notified. I'm gonna be posting trades in the Discord now. Appreciate you guys all being here. And as always, my name is Market Cipher. Trade safe. Much love. Market Cipher out. See you guys tomorrow.